What's up YouTube? Back with another video, and today we're gonna go over 5 plays in the Thunder Playbook. So let's get right into it. The first play is the quick 3 punch motion. You're gonna call this for Paul George, and the play is designed for Paul George to get a 3, but most of the time you'll get a dunk with Westbrook. So the ball is gonna start on the wing, and you're gonna swing it all the way around and then dump it into the post. Then Grant is going to set a screen for George. George is going to set a screen for Westbrook, and Westbrook is going to cut to the rim. And if the defense doesn't play it correctly, he'll be open. So you can pass it regular or you can throw a lob. I find throwing the lob better because it's a lot more fluent and you don't give the defense an opportunity to help. If you pass it regular, Jeff Teague would be able to catch up and contest the layup, and Karl Anthony Towns is also in a good position to help as well. So if you lob it, you don't really give them an opportunity to help. And plus Westbrook, he's really athletic and he has silver lobster finishes, so he'll finish that play most of the time. And if Westbrook's not open, just hold the ball and Grant will set a screen for Paul George, and then George is going to come out to the wing and he'll be open for a 3. I like this play because this is the first play that I've come across that has a cutting option and a 3-point option that both work. It just depends on what the defense does. So in the clips, if Jimmy Butler doesn't fully commit to Westbrook, then he'll be open for that lob. But if he does, Paul George will get open for the 3. Next up, we got the quick 4 hammer. You're going to run this for Paul George, and it's designed for him to get a corner 3. So George is going to start with the ball at the top, then dribble to the wing. Westbrook is going to come up to the top and get the ball and initiate a pick and roll with Jeremy Grant. He's going to attack the basket, and then Steven Adams is going to come up to the wing and set an off-ball screen for Paul George, and then George is going to go to the corner for the 3. I really like this play because you end up with a corner 3, and corner 3s are one of the best shots you can get in this game. But I also like it because it's not obvious that you're running a play, because like it's so much motion and so many things happening. There are plays where you just standing at the top of the key or on the wing waiting for something to happen, so like it's obvious that you're running something. But with this, once you give it to Westbrook and initiate the pick and roll, especially if you're playing against another person, they're going to be worried about stopping the pick and roll, and they won't have no clue what's going on the other side of the court until you pass it, and then George is wide open for the 3. Next, we have the give 53 horns quick. You can run this for Westbrook or Paul George, and I think the play is designed to be a handoff 3-pointer, but that's not how we're going to use it. We're going to use it to get a dunk or layup. So right here, we're running it for Paul George, and Westbrook is going to start with the ball at the top of the key. Then he's going to pass it to Steven Adams in the high post. Then Westbrook is going to set a screen for Paul George. Then Paul George is going to run around Steven Adams, and he would usually stop at the wing. But when he gets in front of Steven Adams, you want to hold Y or triangle to make him cut to the rim. And with the spacing that you have, you're going to get a free dunk almost every time. This is a good play to run at the beginning of a game to get your players in rhythm. I run a lot of 3-point plays, but you don't always want to start the game jacking up 3-pointers. So you want to find some easy baskets first, and this is one of those plays that'll get you an easy basket or 2, and then you can start expanding your game out to the 3-point line. This play is also good to use if a player is cold and you want to get him an easy basket, or if a player is one shot away from getting takeover. You could call this, get an easy basket, and now he has takeover. It's also good for those games where 2K doesn't like you and you just can't make a shot. Just call this and get an easy dunk. Next, we have the quick 2-3 give 1. You can run this for Paul George, and it's designed to get him an open 3. So Westbrook is going to start with the ball on the wing. Then he's going to dribble into the corner, and Paul George, he's going to be in the opposite corner, and he's going to get a screen from Grant, Adams, and Roberson to get open for a 3. Also, after Westbrook dribbles into the corner, you can pass it out to Roberson, and Paul George will still get the screens from Grant and Adams, and you can pass it to him. after the Adams screen. I feel like this play should work more than it actually does. I don't know if it's because it's Hall of Fame Jimmy Butler and he has gold pick dodger and he's really good on defense. But I wasn't getting the separation I thought I would normally get. But every player is not as good as Jimmy Butler on defense, so you might be able to get some separation against players who are not that good on defense. Plus, each team has a different defensive scheme, so you might be able to force more switches or just get open more often. Next, we have the quick 13 wide. You're gonna run this for Paul George, and it's designed for him to get a 3 on the wing. So Westbrook is gonna start with the ball at the top, and George will be on the block. And George, he's gonna make like he's gonna come up to the wing, but fade out to the corner. Then he's gonna run baseline, get a screen from Grant and Roberson, and come up to the wing for the 3. And just like the last play, I feel like this play should work more than it actually does. I don't know if it's because Grant and Roberson aren't great screeners or if Jimmy Butler is just that good on defense, but maybe against different player personnel and different defensive scheme, this play would be better. Now, I know I said 5 plays, but since the last 2 were kind of meh, I figured I'd throw in this extra play. And while I was looking through the playbook initially, most of the plays would offer Paul George because he's like the only consistent shooter on the team, well, in the starting lineup. And I was looking for some plays to run for Westbrook, but most of them are just ISOs or pick and roll plays, and they're not all that efficient. But I did find this one called the Fist STS Spain, and this play is good for Westbrook because he's not a strong shooter, so you want him cutting to the rim like he was in the first play, or you want him attacking the rim without a lot of help defense. So Westbrook is going to start with the ball on the wing above the hash mark, and then Adams is going to set a screen for Grant. Then Grant is going to set a screen for Westbrook, and so is Adams. So Westbrook is going to get a double screen, and then he's going to attack the rim. Now, the play was initially designed for Westbrook to use the 2 screens and go to the wing, and then Roberson will set a screen for Adams and he'll dive to the rim, but that doesn't always work. So you can just use the double screens and the spacing to attack the rim with Westbrook, and you won't have a lot of help defense to worry about. And what I find most effective is doing dribble moves while you're waiting for the screens, because if you just stand still and then use the screens when they get there, it's not that effective, and the defender usually seems to always catch up and cut me off. But I found that doing dribble moves by holding turbo and just doing some left to right crossovers, and then when the screens come, do a step back and then go, and he's just gonna explode to the rim. And a lot of the times you'll get an open dunk or open layup, and most of the times if you do get help, it'll be Andrew Wiggins. And if you're good with the layups, you can do some Euros, you can do floaters, you can do a Euro into a floater, some spin layups, reverse layups. Like, you got a lot of options. And there will even be times where Steven Adams will be open too. So sometimes it's just a read and react kind of thing if you do get help. But most of the time, you'll be able to get a dunk. So the video is coming down to an end. Check out my other playbook videos. Also, I have the Rockets playbook coming up next, so be on the lookout for that. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content.